Call to order the Village of Franklin Council special meeting of Tuesday, February 10th, 2026. Let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Evan, roll call, please.
President Mitchell.
Here.
Trustee David Ferris.
Here.
Trustee Abigail Gates.
Here.
Trustee David Solly.
Here.
Trustee Jeffrey King.
Here.
Trustee Angelina Slaka. Trustee Ken Hanson.
Okay. Hopefully those two will be still rolling in. Adoption of our agenda, pretty straightforward. Anybody have any comments? Get a motion to adopt the agenda, please.
Motion to adopt the agenda.
Second.
Motion by Solly, second by Gates. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Public comment.
Hello, thank you for having me. My name is Emily Hutchison, and this is Mabel King. We are residents of 32800 Brandingham in Franklin, and I know today's meeting is all about discussing priorities for the plan for the village. And so I just wanted to speak at the public comment to give a couple of suggestions and ask that we back any priorities with things like census data and maybe a survey. I know Birmingham, I think, recently did a survey of their community to see what their community priorities are. So I would love to just put a plug in for child-friendly priorities. As you can see, I have two little ones, and I know that the city and the village is quickly becoming like a hub for families in the area as the demographics turn over. So I'd love to have a discussion on things like splash pads, sidewalks, crosswalks, an ice rink, stop signs, Wi-Fi tables, outdoor dining spaces, public art. I know there's grants available through the DIA for public art, and so many more. I'm happy to join a committee if there's like a family-friendly committee or something like that. So thank you for consideration.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay. All right, new business. Rachel, any thoughts on how you want to tackle this?
Well, I can explain.
You gave us, yeah, if you want to
what
start
I've
with the
provided.
documents you gave us, exactly.
So, the sheet that is front and back plus one extra page, this is the collection of all of the suggestions that everybody sent to me. So, sorry, since it's so much, what I thought I'd do is put it into a table and kind of put all of the ideas in certain buckets where maybe they seem like they could be collected well for you to discuss.
Okay, like that?
So, my plan was that you would all just maybe start
Focus on
column from column and maybe strike things that maybe aren't the best choice for us right now financially, or we just can't accomplish it for one reason or another, and narrow this list down to a few reasonable goals that we could accomplish in this next upcoming budget year.
Can we call out the elephant in the room?
Yeah, please.
There's the money issue, which like might affect so many of these, so.
Pretty much everything. Yeah.
So I just want to maybe start with what is actually reasonable. Like, we've got our pie in the sky things that we could save for or start allocating funds toward and create a short list, but for the purposes of next financial year, it feels like a stabilization year. So maybe like level setting on near and long-term priorities and making sure that we're being realistic is where I'd like to see this.
There are certain things that we could tackle that are more, that don't require a lot of funding. Like, one of your ideas was to make sure we put together a great list of policies and procedures and things of that nature. So that's not gonna cost us any money. We can do that internally. That's something that we can handle. I would probably have a law firm just take a look at them, but not draft them. We can do like internal cleanup things, like go through our municipal code and go ordinance by ordinance and make sure that these things are even still reasonable to require of people, or maybe we need to update them, things of that nature. These are all things that we can do internally.
Yeah.
They should be done anyway.
And they don't cost a lot.
No.
Yeah, I like how you did this. Sorry, Abby, were you done?
Oh, no, good.
Okay. I like how you bucketed these, because I think if we agree that these 5, or even we even pick 3 are priorities, then we can make sure that any discussion, project, or investment we make fits in one of these buckets. And if it's outside of these buckets, it needs to be put on a future list. Because, you know, it's not necessarily like, I think we have to stop focusing on like a single project, you know, and like, does it fit into one of these 3 priorities? And if it does, let's not so much focus on the project, but what we have the money to do now.
Let's not forget that there is grant funding available, so that is something that I can research. If there are specific things on here that you really want to focus on this year, I can look for grants to help us
Yeah.
cover the cost of those.
And as we've learned, as many grants can be out there, whatever funding's available, if we don't have projects ready to go, we're not gonna get.
Not in all cases. Oftentimes, when it is a construction project, that is the case, but there are lots of grants that are available. SEMCOG is a
Grants
great,
for infrastructure type stuff, we could definitely use, upgrading Wi-Fi, upgrading
And for like the ice
that
rink,
type of stuff.
right? That's like $5,000 to buy the equipment for the ice rink. So if we had like a $5,000 grant out there, right, we could easily buy the supplies for the ice rink. You know,
I can look for something like
we
that.
have a spot. That was like one of the things
I guess that's one of the questions when it comes to a
Brought
lot
up.
of these great ideas with regard to improvements is where do we put them? And to the extent we're, again, spending money and improving the FCA property is where we, you know, where are we proposing to put these
ice rink on our property,
on the Village Green, you're saying?
behind the library, yeah.
Yeah. Hi, Pam. Okay, so do we want to go through each of these lists? What do we, because these buckets are in and of themselves pretty deep. So is the idea to pick 3 buckets to focus on, or?
I don't think we can do all items in a bucket, right?
Well, right, but are there particular buckets we want to focus on, or do we want to pick and choose items from various buckets that are maybe the lowest hanging fruit for the time being?
I mean, how about we all shortlist some things that are important to us, and we can identify themes across all of the buckets?
Yeah.
We're all identifying, you know, if like 3 of us choose budget stabilization and addressing current budget challenges, it becomes a priority.
Yeah, I like that.
And then we determine feasibility. Is it a near-term or a long-term goal? Are there grant opportunities? Is there a budget impact? Is there not a budget impact? If there is a budget impact, are there grants available? So it becomes like, when are we doing it?
Yeah.
What do we agree on? When are we doing it? And how are we paying for it if that's necessary?
Okay.
So maybe take a few minutes to just circle, I don't know,
Yeah,
Oh, that works?
circle what's important to you, and then we'll talk about it.
So you suggesting what's so important to us across the board versus
Yep, and
a
every
certain
bucket,
number,
yep.
a certain number needs, no certain number though, just
Maybe
whatever.
rank in every bucket your top, like no more than 3 in each
Yeah,
bucket.
top 3 in each
Top 3,
bucket.
that sounds good. And they don't have to be in a particular order right now.
And also, some of these are likely pretty similar.
Yeah.
I was literally
Yeah.
gonna say the same thing, like,
It's-
some of these things could probably be combined.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm sure.
Like, if you
we'll-
upgrade the meeting technology, you're gonna be able to have remote participation,
Right.
right, so.
Of course you brought a highlighter.
I only have this because Gigi stole it out of one of my drawers and I took it from her and threw it in my briefcase.
I barely remember to get a pen today. Usually I bum one of
I
David's.
feel like now it's like
Because
pass
I'm
to the
normal
person on your lap.
I'm sorry?
It's like pass to the person on your lap so they can check your answers.
Do you wanna, like, I don't know if you guys wanna,
Oh, there's stuff on the back.
Yeah,
There's-
I'm still.
Oh.
Stuff
like,
on the back.
list our, and then maybe write some, like, notches next to common themes, and they become our discussion.
Can you put this in Adobe and edit it? Like, you know, circle things, so you can use like,
Oh, yeah, color coded.
yeah, you can just put
A
next
little
to.
highlighter.
Dan is
It's
a
a Word
pink highlighter, in
document,
case you
isn't
wanna just,
You also have a copy of the planning goals and community values from the master plan. So now might be a good time to take a look at that and think about how you want to implement these ideas that the village came up with in their new master plan.
Hi, baby done. So what was the next, going through each bucket, right?
yeah, so we'll go, I'm sorry to go ham on this Slap my hand. I was thinking we'd go person by person, name our 3 priorities, and then
In each column?
we, yes. Yep. Your favorite 3 in each. And then, yep,
Yeah.
you ready?
No, start on the other side.
Do you want to start?
Jeff?
Sure. I will say that I think we need to theme these eventually because a lot of mine, I think, I can list another one that I think falls in the similar bucket, but I will just, for the sake of promptness, go column by column now?
Yep.
All right. In governance, I said basically policies, governance and compliance. The next one, council standards and practices, and then meeting flow. Although, I think that, potentially processes and meeting agendas could go together.
Where's meeting flow?
It was on the formal agenda meeting, it's right under this one.
Wait, sorry, Evan, I think you should put his initials because,
Or give everyone a different color.
I was gonna get.
oh, okay, perfect. Okay, you're good. Okay, so,
And then, do you want me to list them all?
yeah, go all
Go
across.
column by column, or?
Go column by column.
Yeah, okay.
Everything, column by column, okay.
Next one, additional revenue sources, the first,
one.
Top one. Right below it, budget stabilization. And then I had the audit and implement, this one. The top one seems reasonable. Plan. Incentivize small businesses, right below it, number 2. And then commercial vacancies. On infrastructure, I think that there's a lot that are similar in this one, whether it's pedestrian lights, parking, or walkability improvements. So I'll call it the walkability improvements because I think that covers a number of things. Crosswalks at 13 Mile. And then the pathway project. Complete approved pathway project.
I think it's on the next,
Oh, no, it's the third down.
never mind, don't listen to me.
Right, yeah, there you go.
Is the approved pathway project, what is that? Which pathway project are you
There's
talking
only
about?
one,
Which is what?
Irving.
Is that what you meant?
I was just trying to say like walkability, like my theme is improved connectivity. So maybe it's
And
already
as far as that third one, we're still in the running for that money from
Rashida.
from Rashida. It's at the Senate, I think.
So my main theme is just connectivity.
Yeah, I got it. And it's in a couple places. So yeah, connectivity in general. Because, yeah, I mean, 3 of these are connectivity.
And then on the last one, seasonal programming, gathering spaces, which I think is also the third. And then, I went back, just want to make sure it didn't. The creative use of underutilized spaces. I know it's necessarily not ours, but I think thinking about partnerships is important. Good?
Yep. Angelina?
For the first column, governance, remote participation in village meetings. 2, user-friendly automated tools for information and engagement. Oh, actually, no, sorry, compliant tracking tool and data-driven decision-making. And then 3, policies, governance, and compliance. Which to me includes like agenda, flow, pre-reading, all that.
Maybe like highlight a portion of it in a different color? Oh, you did?
It is.
Okay, okay. Sorry, same color.
The second bucket, budget stabilization and addressing current budget challenges. Audit and implement internal financial controls. And then my third is seek additional revenue sources, or the first one. Yeah. Budget stabilization, audit and implement internal financial controls. Yeah. Oh, not the analytical one, not deep dive analytical. So I had the same ones as him, not the third down, yeah. For the economic vitality, first is identify barriers to new business. Modern family-friendly gathering places. And then revitalize, retain, and incentivize small businesses. Or recruit, retain, sorry, I said revitalize instead of incentivize. Fourth column, walkability improvements. Tutor easement mile, 13-mile sidewalk, pedestrian lights, parking, I mean, it's all the same thing. And then, safety for walkers, families, all generations. Then the last one, improve everyday community spaces. Seasonal programming. And create a cultural recreation. This is my question, in government services hub. By hub, to me, it's like a tool. Is that what it meant? Like a hub where you can find cultural, recreational, and government
Is this like a-
services?
Yeah.
Is this
That
like,
was my word,
oh, okay,
and what I meant was a geographically identified place where
okay.
those things happen.
Oh, I
And
thought,
that
okay.
future activities that are similar would probably go in that
Oh.
zone or that space.
Okay, sorry, not that then. I thought by hub you meant like a sign or an interactive like tool, so people could find all that. Common space improvements.
So that's not for what you.
Yeah, I was thinking hub like a,
A platform or?
yeah, like a
an app?
platform, like a
Got it,
hub,
Got it, okay.
not like a physical hub, more of a
Yeah.
technological hub,
Got it.
which, I mean, is important, both, but.
So which ones were yours, Angelina? Improve every day.
Improve everyday community spaces,
Gathering spaces?
seasonal programming.
Seasonal programming,
And then, common space improvement, so all the same thing, basically.
okay.
I think improve everyday spaces, and the one that I listed is,
Okay, then just highlight, you don't have to highlight that one then.
Oh.
Is that what you're saying?
I was saying the one above, not.
There's 3 that are similar: improve everyday community spaces, gathering spaces, and then the last one, common spaces.
Right, I think those are all
Agreed,
the same theme.
pretty much so.
Okay, so then I'll use my last one for the, a rec plan with Oakland County.
Pam?
Okay, let's see, I would like to, Under governance, I would like the last one, modernize community engagement tools. I would like a complaint tracking tool and data-driven decision-making. And I would like upgrade meeting technology. The second column, I would like additional revenue sources, the first one, budget stabilization, the second one, and I would like, I'm gonna say, address budgetary issues generally. On vitality, I'm gonna say a village center plan. That's gonna encompass a lot, but, I would like to recruit, retain, and incentivize small businesses. And the third one is, this is next fiscal year, so the scope of this is July 1 through June 30th? Is that the scope?
Yeah.
All right, then I want to put staff the Main Street Director position. On the infrastructure, I would like to walkability improvements. Which one best describes where we want to go with 13 Mile Road? The Tudor easement or multi-use path planning on 13? Let's do that one. Basically, we need to do 13 Mile, make some progress there. I don't care which one you pick.
Hey, Evan, I think Pam's second one was recruit, retain, and incentivize small businesses, right, under?
Yeah.
Yeah, she had
Yeah.
the top three.
Oh, am I going too fast? I'm sorry.
He had, no, one of them was like, kept on highlighting and unhighlighting for him.
Oh, got
So
it,
he got
okay.
stuck on your first
Downtown.
one.
Got it, okay.
Downtown and economic vitality,
That's why if you heard us laughing, that
the
was
second
it.
one
Oh, all right.
from the top,
Recruit, retain.
recruit, retain.
Recruit, retain,
That was the one that gave
Yeah.
me trouble too.
yeah. The top three under downtown on the list, okay. And then infrastructure, did you get that one for me?
I only have one of those for you, or the other two.
I said walkability improvements. And then I asked the question, which one is the strongest one to support 13 Mile? So I picked Tudor easement. And then I'm gonna say multi-use path planning, connectivity projects in general. And on community spaces, I'm gonna make a pitch for a recreational plan that will allow a lot of other things to happen. Create the hub, and I would like to do seasonal programming. No, never mind, common space improvements.
And you wanted the first one too, right, Pam?
The first one was a rec plan.
Okay. Great.
Okay, so two items, first of all. The first item in governance communication, address severe eroding. No one said it. That's not a goal. It's absolutely has to be done. Get a cost. We just allocated $20,000 or $30,000 for special projects. Our employees cannot be working in a building where the rodents are getting into their food. So it's not even a goal. It's just do it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Okay.
Can I ask you a question? Don't we get money for those like mosquito things? Can we use them towards rodent?
This is like a sick five or gonna be
I
a
wasn't
couple
sure.
$1,000
We get like a
project.
grant for those things.
That's like $400.
Do you want to just borrow my chihuahuas?
I wrote
We've been
cat
talking
next
about
to
getting
it.
cats.
I did write cat on the paper.
It is actually very serious. Is the mess still on the floor upstairs?
Yep.
If you want to take a look at something that happened last night, go on upstairs and just take a look at the floor.
Is that why you want to come back downstairs?
Don't waste one of your three on that.
I'm not wasting
We
it.
all
I'm
agree.
telling you, it's not a goal. I'm telling you, it's just do
We
it.
just need to
Just
do
get
it.
it done.
Seems
Yeah.
reasonable.
All right, so my goals in column one are all on the back page. Improve village email communications. Complaint tracking tool and data-driven decision-making. and modernize community engagement tools and grant identification. In the second group, the first one, seek additional revenue sources for the police. The second one, budget stabilization. And the third one, deep dive review to cost savings. And then in the third column, the second one, recruit, retain, and incentivize small businesses. Identify barriers to new businesses entering vacant spaces. And develop incentives or streamline processes for business attraction. And then in the third one, again, I'm not sure what that top one is as far as a goal. That's more of a, can you just tell us how much it would cost and what its main purpose is, and then see if it's something we could identify, because I don't really see that as a goal.
What, develop the plan?
But no, a PD drone request. I mean, what's the purpose of the drone? If it's, something we can get a grant for, that has a real purpose other than, I thought it was for like,
Do you want to answer that?
Sure.
yeah, I'm still trying to understand what that was for.
Yeah, lots to go over. So I was approached by the cable board, because I had mentioned, I think in 2024 in our annual report, that was something we were going to do. I had a resident that gave us a drone, so we were gonna send some of our officers to get the certification required, so they were very excited about it, until we found out that the drone didn't work. And obviously, I don't want to use general fund money or taxpayer money for a drone that we're probably going to only use 4 or 5 times a year for major events, for, if there's children lost or someone walks away from our memory care center in Bingham Farms. But the cable board said that they were willing to purchase a high-tech drone for us as well as for them. It would be a partnership, a shared service that we would keep at our police department. Obviously, they could use it whenever they wanted to, and we would be able to use it for the events, for Overwatch and things like that. So I kind of thought it was a win-win-win. But some trustees have talked to me a little bit about maybe that money could be used for something else that you would rather do, and I'm fine with that as well. I just need some direction on, because we're supposed to go in front of the Cable Commission in March. The cost of the drone is, it's consistent with what all the other departments around us have. It's about $30,000. And the cost to the police department will just be for the training and the certification. So I'll answer some of your questions.
Is there an ongoing cost for, like subscription or services or anything beyond the cost of the drone? For like server data or et cetera?
No. The only additional cost, and I'll talk to the Cable Commission on how they want to do it, if we had to get more additional batteries, if we had to get more rotors somewhere down the road. We have a pretty healthy forfeiture fund, so I probably could supplement it with that.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah, I just wanted to, I spoke with Chief on this one, in particular, and I don't have any, I wanted to speak on the trade-offs of the drone versus one of the other things that I support. So what I was saying is that I don't inherently have any issue with, seeking funds for the drone. But I want to be mindful of the potential offset that if we get a $30,000 grant for a drone and then we turn around and we want enhanced, upgrade to meeting technology such as a smart board, we would go to the cable board for that. And so they're not gonna turn around and, there is a probability or propensity that they could turn around and say, well, you're asking for an additional 30,000 after we just gave you 30,000 for a drone. So I think while we shouldn't knock either of them off, I think we need to decide the priority of what we wanna seek funding for.
I know we just purchased those 2 cameras,
Correct.
and it seems like there's not a lot of, children walking away in Franklin. Could we keep, my inclination is keeping the drone on like a future list, but seeing how those work. And then if is this like a grant that has a time frame? Like, why did they approach you now and ask if you wanted a drone?
I know that Rachel had talked to Carrie at one point, and then Rick David got involved, and they agreed that it was a good idea.
Okay.
That was before I heard that there might be other priorities.
Okay. Yeah, because okay, I wasn't sure if like the drones were running a sale or something, and they were like, okay, so
What's happening, let me just
$30,000
explain.
get our 2005
Well, so,
edition.
The future of drone technology is very similar to where we are with cameras now. There's cameras all over Oakland County, all over the state of Michigan. That's
Yeah.
going to continue. Drone technology is the next thing. We will never by ourselves have first responder drones like they have at Dearborn or Canton or Sterling Heights, where the drones are launching off the buildings and they're the first ones on scene. Now, we may partner with Bloomfield Township or the county at some point down the road after I retire, I think, to do that. Because I think it's valuable. I think it's an officer safety issue. It gives you that, 200-foot view of what's going on. And I'm not saying that we're doing that now. This is just something that I thought, well, if they want to buy us a state-of-the-art drone, I'm all for it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I mean, to me, it's like an enhancement, but not something that our residents feel is lacking in our police or law enforcement. Like, I definitely feel like yesterday with like the fact that we couldn't have a closed meeting without it leaking outside, and like the fact that, people can't, like, there's other cable board, I think, priorities for the meeting. But I agree with you, like, it's the future. And so I feel like in 2 years, we may be like the only, municipality without a drone. And at that point, we may be like, yeah, we
You
need
can
to
get a
get one.
refurbished one. for
There's no
15.
doubt that we have great relationships with the departments around us. If I need a drone, they're gonna bring me a drone. It's just something where I'm trying to engage my officers also to give them something else to do besides drive around 12 hours in a car in circles, is that they can learn, they can operate the drone, they're gonna train on it, and that's another reason for them to be here. Now, this is more of a want than a need.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna survive without it,
Yeah. Okay.
yes.
I was also speaking with the chief about the drone and had a reaction somewhere between the two of you, Angelina and David. So what I'm generally not in favor of purchasing a drone because it's a great idea. Chief knows this. We are, and he knows that I'm very supportive of the PD, so that's off the table. My question is really for us. I don't understand the money flow from cable to the cable board, back to the village. I don't understand how we wrap that money back into our planning and budgeting process and how we use that money. I don't know if it's whipped cream on top of a sundae or it's the actual, it becomes part of what we use to operate this village. My mindset right now is, unless something isn't going to help us remain solvent through the next fiscal year, I'm not interested in it. We can put it on the deferred list. That is my mindset. So that's driving my comments as much as anything. It really, yeah, that's it, so.
Could I throw out maybe a suggestion that we defer this later down the road and see where we land? If you want to ask for something else from the Cable Commission and they want to give it to you instead of the drone, I'm okay with that.
I have a question,
Sure.
and I haven't gotten an answer if we've looked into other sources outside of Xfinity. We cannot stream a live meeting. That's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's functionally impossible. And any of these upgrades of live remote meetings and anything remotely of the sort isn't even going to be in the equation until we can get fast enough Wi-Fi speed to allow that machine to be live streamed. So we have Xfinity. It sucks. They've told us it's going to be a significant amount of money to upgrade to their fiber optic, but there is AT&T fiber optic. I'd like to inquire into whether that is available to us. It should be on Wellington or 13 Mile Road, or Franklin Road, I'm guessing, from what I've understood in communications with them. So again, as far as if the cable board is offering money out, although I didn't get this as an offering $30,000. It was, do you want a drone? We wouldn't mind having a drone too, so since we were gonna buy a drone, we'll share it with you. To me, that shouldn't be eating up our $30,000 types requests, but I wouldn't wanna know that before we made that deal. But if it was a, you know, a co-deal with them and they're just gonna store it here because we were the lucky, you know, the lucky winners, that's fine. But the biggest issue right now is we can't even live stream. That's bad. So, anything else on this subject, or we'll get back to where, all right. So, thank you, Chief.
You're welcome.
All right, so I was on the fourth column. Mine are actually the second, third, and fourth. Stormwater project phase 2, complete approved pathway project, walkability improvements. I mean, again, when it had the word sidewalks in there, so to me, that one and the 13-mile sidewalk are the same. That's the sidewalk. We only have one sidewalk that we can do.
Yeah.
So, that's it. Community spaces, the last column. The first one, develop a recreation plan. The fourth one, seasonal programming. And then the bottom one there, gathering spaces.
David, what was your last choice in infrastructure?
He's got in the top 3.
Walkability.
Yeah,
Those
he's
three.
doing like the
The
circles
3
now.
circles.
Ah,
Stormwater
He's
completed and
switched it up.
walkability.
Okay.
Oh, he gets
He's getting
circles.
creative. Oh, now he's got the pen out too. That was it for me, thanks.
Wait till Abby's turn.
All right, so beginning with the governance column, I've got the policies, governance compliance. And then on the next page, the single village calendar. And then complaint tracking tool. Okay. And then my next choices are pretty easy. It's the top 3, first 3 ones. Yep. There you go. And then you can make another one over the first 3 in the next column too, please. Trying to make this easy for you, Evan. Okay, and then moving on, I have walkability improvements. The crosswalk on 13. And then general safety. In the final column, I have the recreation plan. Okay, seasonal programming. And the common space improvements.
What's Abby getting? Oh, let's see.
He's gonna freehand Abby's.
We're gonna get blue circles, all right.
Do I get like a screensaver when you click on it?
I think you're gonna get a smudge.
Policies, governance, and compliance. Oh, yeah. Good. Modernize community engagement tools and grant identification. Next page. Last one. Last one.
Last one.
And remote participation in village meetings, but I think upgrade meeting technology. I'll go with that one instead, because I think it's more.
Pretty much all the same.
Yeah. Upgrade meeting technology. Second one, 2, 3, and 4. Downtown economic vitality. Identify barriers to new businesses. The one right underneath it, develop incentives. And then modern family-friendly gathering places and shops. And then, walkability. Safety for walkers. And, I mean, it's all walkability, right?
Yeah.
So I think walkability kind of captures everything. I'll leave it at that. And then in the last one, creative use of underutilized spaces. Last
Second
one.
page.
Yeah. Seasonal programming and gathering spaces.
The one under it.
I'll say David's, cat for the first one.
That's right. That's just a solution. That's not, that's right. That's not a goal. That's a solution. Cat.
Get a cat.
So in the first column, my number 1 is policies, governance, and compliance. My number 2 is upgrade meeting technology. And my 3 is complaint tracking tool and data-driven decision-making. In the next column, budget stabilization and addressing current budget challenges. My 2 is deep dive analytical review to identify cost-saving opportunities. And then my 3 is to explore diversified revenue streams, period.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Yeah, I would have loved to have stopped it there as well.
So I am clarifying that mine stops there, because again, and specifically in that one, again, I think there's more revenue options than what we're currently taking advantage of. Next column for downtown economic vitality, modern family-friendly gathering places and shops. 2, identify barriers to new businesses entering vacant spaces. And I think that one can even be, again, I'm not to amend it, but entering the village rather than just vacant spaces.
Sure.
3, develop incentives or streamline processes for business attraction. For infrastructure and connectivity, 1, explore lowering the speed on 13 Mile. 2, walkability improvement. And then I think that really just covers it. And then community spaces, recreation for quality of life. 1, gathering spaces with Wi-Fi seating, chessboards, pop-up installations.
The bottom one on that page.
Yeah. 2, creative uses of underutilized spaces. 3, seasonal programming, though for me, seasonal programming is more long-term than a near-term.
Okay. Excellent. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's go column by column.
Can we delete the ones that no one selected so we can try to get all the ones that were selected on one page?
If you can do that, that'd be good.
Probably just a redaction.
Yeah.
Use the redaction feature.
And that way, we're not ignoring anything.
Before, just a process question, before you do that. It seems to me that there's some opportunities for some consolidation here.
Yeah.
We've all talked about.
Yeah, we'll do that as we go column by column, for sure. I
Okay,
think we
but
should do
but
that.
before we delete anything,
Well, she
We're
was
deleting
deleting,
the
she was
ones that no
suggesting
one
one that
suggested.
nobody commented on it. But that's what you're saying, they could become part of something else.
yeah, like the communications plan was kind of a big deal in 25 last year. And had a big reach that covered some of the concerns that people were talking about tonight. So we can take it out, but
Maybe it becomes like a sub-item, is that your point?
it might
Like
be a
it's-
work product, could be
Yeah.
in a communications plan.
But I think, yeah, but I think that the communication plans, to your point, it had a lot in it. But I think what we've done here is narrow down what type of communications are a priority to
Okay, I'm
us.
fine.
You know what I mean? So that way, instead of going back through the whole plan, which is like social media and all of that.
Evan, will you flash the second page so we can see what kind of overlap we have on page 2 in that column? So, and there's a lot in complaint tracking.
I think we need to move it to one page.
1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5.
5. What's
And the bottom one has 3.
4?
And then, all right, so on the second page, it looks like complaint tracking is definitely 1 in our group. And that's already underway with Community Connect. So that's just getting that.
But I don't think, we've done I'm gonna be really honest here. We've done a really poor job of talking about it and making everybody aware. Like, I haven't been updated in.
None of us have. They're working on it. The point is, there is
No,
something in
but
place.
hang on. we still need to understand what's going on. Like, raise your hand if if you've ever seen the tool or functionally know what it's doing and what the village is doing with it at this table. And if the answer is 1, 2, 3 of us, that's a problem.
The,
Is that a homegrown app? Is that like is someone developing that here?
well, Mark Hankey has been developing it.
Is there a off-the-shelf product we can just buy and license? Like-
Well, he's developing it, so he's developing it, and we're a pilot group. So that's what I'm saying, is like, yes, it's happening, yes, it's underway, but no, we don't have any visibility into it. We can't let things.
Okay, no problem. It
Could I-
it was
could I
a
just
comment
make-
off the, it was a comment, so it's irrelevant. We're going and identifying our collective goals. So that item is a collective goal. How we get to that is irrelevant at this point then, okay? Does that make everyone feel better? Complaint tracking tool and
As long as my
data-driven
point's still
decision-making
noted.
is one of the items that we've identified. So we've got 3 checks on the second one. What's on the first page again?
Policies, governance, and
That has
compliance.
That one's definitely got 5.
Can you put numbers next to them?
I think can't we just order them, like,
Policies has 5
like put
that I got.
put the priorities at the top that we've all agreed? So like complaint tracking,
Wait
policies,
till
and
someone just take
governance.
a clean one and circle the 3 that we've identified.
Oh, poor Evan, sorry, bud.
Okay, sorry. Can you insert a number?
Just so that we can focus.
Yeah, so if you, there should be ability to put like a 1, a 2, a 3, and
Maybe
a
in the
4.
row across the top. Or next to the item.
Or you can freehand it.
Here, can I use your pink highlighter? I don't have any highlighting on mine, so I'm gonna do it. Policy and compliance, upgrade meet, oh, what was the second one on the back page?
It's on the back.
Modernized engagement tools. It's got 3.
Complaint tracking was the one on the back.
Right, so complaint tracking we identified
And
as
then
the
there's a
second one.
tie between modernized community engagement tools.
And what was it, it's tied with?
It's tied with upgrade meeting technology.
I mean, isn't that sort of, well, it's not.
No, I feel like, so then
Well, I
there's
think,
4.
I think, modernize, what was the second one? Modernized community engagement tools and grant identification.
I think
We have a clear 1 and 2, so 3 and 4 are tied.
All right, I'm gonna highlight the meeting technology, because that seems more immediate.
So do you want to just, can you save this version? And then we'll just,
And complaint tracking and community engagement might also, again, be sort of similar in that we're trying to get feedback from residents and have a means of,
I mean, I think if we have a tie for 3 and 4,
yeah,
then
it's fine.
keep 3 and 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like have 4 priorities,
There's
clear
4, yeah.
advance and votes.
Yep.
okay.
Let's not
And
split
then,
hairs.
okay, so this next group, go to the second page, is it just the top 3?
It's the top 3.
Yeah.
It's the top 3, that's. The second,
Well, no, there's, the bottom, the 4th one has 4 people. And the 3rd one has 4.
The third one has 5, right?
Yeah, the audit and implement internal financial controls.
And then audit has 4 too,
Okay.
because mine is like just dark.
audit has 4, I like.
Yeah.
I mean, audit and implement internal financial controls is also.
These are like
policy,
the same
governance, and
thing.
Yeah.
compliance.
So let's just do 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, the budget challenges are the fact that we need to implement internal financial controls.
Reach.
Want to keep going?
2,
2 is 4.
2, 5.
what's that, there's only 1 on the second, oh, there's 2 on the second page.
That's 3.
That's
Probably
3.
not a good number.
2, 5, and 4. I think that one has 4, right? Or no, 3.
Identify barriers to new business, or did we already say that one?
That has 5. So then there's a
That's
tie
5.
again.
Which
Does
one's,
does barriers have 5?
It has 4.
Oh,
4,
recruit,
okay, that's
retain,
what I
and
thought.
incentivize small businesses has 5.
Yeah.
So you want a 2,
Oh, we already did that one,
5,
sorry.
4? Which one?
No, 2 and 5, and then there's a 3-way tie between develop a downtown plan, develop incentives and streamline processes, and then the one on the back page. What's the one on the back page?
Modern, family-friendly gathering places and shops.
Tell you what, I think we can, on the same principle as setting aside the communications plan, the elements that would go into a downtown plan would be the ones that we would talk about today. So I would vote for setting that aside.
So you're
That'll
saying
help us.
the downtown plan becomes the master goal, and then
Yes.
a byproduct or goal of that is family-friendly businesses.
That's right.
We have new businesses coming downtown.
Yeah, yeah.
That's fair.
So 2, 5, and 6?
1, 2,
Are we including one then, or are we just using
No,
that
we're
as-
just,
No.
we're not.
Just take
So
it
2,
off.
5, and 6.
So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What about the family friend? See, that's a big goal of a downtown
So
plan.
honestly, I think 5 and 6 are almost the same thing, right? Because you have identified barriers to new businesses and then develop incentives and streamline processes for business attraction.
well, 2 and 6 are the same thing then.
I think
Retain-
2,
retain
5,
and
and
incentivize small
6
businesses.
are almost all the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's do 2, 5, and 6 and one on the back page.
Yeah. The family-friendly gathering?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
agree
mean,
with
recruiting
that.
businesses is the clear underlying theme. What
Yeah.
means of doing that seems to be more
These
the
are all like
question.
words to do a very similar thing.
Yeah.
And that becomes the village center plan, if we're being honest.
Right.
But this one is 4. Can you go on the back page?
Walkability,
The safety
Safety.
has 3.
And then there's
Yeah, and then,
we all chose a smattering of things on 13 Mile.
walkability.
yeah, let's keep it the Tudor one, I guess, right? Because it
Yeah,
says
Tudor
pedestrian
easement,
lights.
that's a good one, because it covers a lot more things.
The Tudor easement? Yeah,
Yeah,
it does.
it's
And
got the
that's-
13-mile sidewalk in there.
Yeah, I agree that, and if
I
that
mean,
doesn't happen,
pedestrian
nothing
lights
else
is the
does.
same thing as flashing lights across 13
Yeah,
miles.
if we're doing a 13-mile sidewalk, we're gonna do a pedestrian crossway.
Right, so,
So 2, 5, and,
Yeah,
not
I think
2.
safety for walkers
I
is
mean,
probably.
I'd be happy with 2, but you
Sorry.
guys don't want 2.
3, sorry, you have it right.
Seasonal
Alright.
programming.
So this one is seasonal programming. Gathering spaces. And then I think there was one on the back that had a lot.
It's
Yeah,
got 3.
creative.
Go to the front page again. What was that bottom one? I'm sorry, the top one.
Gathering spaces has 4 on the bottom of the first page.
And what's it
That one had
competing with
3.
using?
Oh, the top one
But
is,
a
mean,
rec
again-
plan is a village center plan,
yeah.
so,
I think that this is a similar situation.
But it
as-
seems, I agree, like, if you're gonna say that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 are all in sort of the same bucket, which is whether it's passive or active, seems to be the biggest difference.
go to the back page one more time, what was 6?
Creative uses of underutilized
yeah.
spaces.
So let's put 4, 5, and 6 up there, right? Because then we essentially have one,
That feeds in.
yeah, it all feeds into each other, so it's like a unified goal. I think that's easier. Okay, so can we clean this up now, like save this and then clean it up and delete everything else?
Just an observation on the second column, number 4 is at the top, but I think number 4 only has 3 votes, and the others have more.
Number 4 has 4 votes, because the operating is
Yeah.
mine.
Yep.
1,
So
2,
that's
3,
still
4.
3.
It's 3.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're right, it's mine over. Oh yeah, so delete 4.
I also really think in terms of between number 3 and number 4, it's,
I think they're they're virtually the same. They,
I think they're similar.
yeah.
The one that we just deleted.
Yeah, I think 4 is pretty similar to deep dive analytical review.
Yeah, one's just using the term deep dive at the end of the day.
And one
it's-
is forecasting controls.
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's fine.
And that one becomes a sub.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
Becomes
yeah.
like a
I agree.
action mechanism for policies, governance, and compliance. So, like, that's what'll end up happening here. So-
Okay. So what's the quickest way for us to see all the ones? Abby, your PDF queen.
I'm a PDF queen.
Adobe queen.
Canva, for sure.
Well, can we just make a new copy and then delete everything but what's listed up there?
He can pull up the Word document that this came from.
We need a whiteboard in here.
There it is.
Smart
We
technology. It's
upgraded
almost
the
like it was on
technology.
there, a smart board.
Here.
You know, our taxes are going to getting a smart board in every BPS elementary room instead of every village office.
And just delete everything except for the ones that were keeping.
Do you have two screens?
No, but I gave you
Oh,
my
okay.
written
I was
notes.
like, hope you have a good memory.
Do we need do we have a time constraint?
I have a babysitter time constraint, yeah. 8:30.
I mean, ideally, well, let's say this. Once we've now identified our top goals and priorities in each column, are we now gonna spend a few minutes discussing implementation?
What,
Or are we just gonna,
Well, we're
I
talking
think
about,
Abby said cost.
is there a cost attached to it?
like if there's
Yeah,
a
we should
cost,
be-
Is it a near versus long?
Is this
term?
realistic or not? Should
Yeah.
be a thing that we do.
because if it's not realistic, we can just put it on the next fiscal year when we have
Or we
one.
just say, we're gonna have to plan for it, like, if we're really saying we're gonna invest in, I don't know, like a village green plan, and it costs many millions of dollars, or sidewalks on 13 Mile, it becomes
Yeah.
like, we need to save X amount of dollars year over year, and also apply for grants, like.
Yeah, like what Bryce said, like that community was stashing away money every year for 5 years. So like we can say, every time we have extra money, we put 50K towards this.
I wonder, I like those ideas. I wonder if we should just take a step back and reflect on what we didn't pick, or what, and what patterns we're seeing in these items. I'd like to hear from you, Rachel, because you're the person who has her hands on the day-to-day operations that aren't very pretty and creative and community engagement-y. The other thing I'd like to make sure we talk about before we move on is things like the stormwater project. That's an infrastructure project. It's really easy to ignore because it's bulky and we aren't done with it yet, but I'd like us to talk about that before we abandon it for this coming year.
For the purposes of today, though, I do think we should shortlist things, and then maybe give some time to those things when we've got
Yeah.
other time, because, I mean,
Right,
with all due respect, like, we were here for 5 hours last night, and we're,
And Pam, the infrastructure committee is meeting Friday at 9:30. If someone wants to brief us on the stormwater project, since that's infrastructure.
so we can absolutely do that. I just mean, for the purposes of tonight, we need to shortlist this, figure out what's feasible, and what are we gonna plan for in the budget for next year, would be my vote.
Okay, but the point I was trying to make, and maybe I didn't make it very well, is that that's a project that's gonna take resources and time, and it's underway. And is, depending on where you live in the village, is as important as some of these other things.
So I still agree with Angelina and Abby, trustee Gates and trustee Salaka, that one, it's an infrastructure thing. Infrastructure can get briefed on it so that they can start to prepare things for us broadly, particularly if it's underway. And then to the point trustee Gates was making, we have a limited time tonight, at least I do, and want to be respectful of everybody else's time. So keeping our priority of talking about the things that we prioritized first, and then we can follow up on the things that we're not talking about. But we should be moving the most important parts of our conversation to the front. Otherwise, we're gonna get exhausted.
I'm with you. I would, so is everybody's expectation that whatever comes out of this meeting is final? Or is it still up for discussion? Because I would imagine the work product that we're after is a short list of goals that are attainable in the next fiscal year. Is that true?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking some of these will be near-term opportunities because they require little funding and are universally supported, like policies, governance, and compliance. Whereas like walkability improvements, we might say that's a goal, but underneath that, it might be that the sidewalks on 13 Mile are the goal. There is no way in hell that's happening next fiscal year.
Right, yeah.
So it becomes like, okay, so grant funding, we explore how much money would we have to save toward that? And when will it be feasible, and at what point do we say, all right, in FY '29, that becomes the number one priority, because we've been,
Talking about it for.
Yeah.
yeah, we've got a plan, and that's, you know, assuming the plan still fits the need, like, that becomes money that we'll deploy for a larger scale project. So, and it's also feasible that, to your point, Pam, a lot of these will become sub-bullets underneath some of these. Like, we may say, for downtown and economic vitality, if we're identifying barriers to new businesses entering vacant spaces, and, you know, let's say a part of that is, we do need someone to spend time as a Main Street director to do that. It might be that that becomes one of our goals for next fiscal year, because we don't have the capacity or the capability on the team today to do it. That might be, you know, depending on what we decide. So it is absolutely feasible some of these become just sub-bullets on the bigger.
Did you, are we done?
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay. This is new, okay.
okay, I can live with that for tonight.
Okay. So should we put money signs? Like, which ones cost money and which ones just require focus and organization?
Are you talking about of our goals or of all of them?
No.
Like
the
column
ones
by
we just
column.
narrowed, the ones we
Like-
just narrowed.
Like in the first column, like having a meeting flow and pre-reading
So
processes, that
can we
just
go
takes
back and
focus.
highlight the three then? Maybe
Yeah, we
just do
gotta,
that?
we gotta laser in on our,
He did. This is what
This
he's,
is-
there was a tie? Was there that
No.
big of a tie in
There
column
were
one?
4.
So
Why did there say-
remove address severe road infestation, because that's not something we're
I
gonna
thought
talk
we
about.
came to agreement.
And what
on
about the
three,
bottom
and
one?
I'm not following.
Modernized community
Yeah.
education grant
I
identification.
thought he had numbers written across
Yeah,
the
we
top.
only had 3 numbers.
So for the first group,
Yeah,
it
was 2,
is
6, and 11.
complaint tracking, policies, governance, and compliance, and then upgrade meeting technology and modernize community engagement tools for time.
Okay, so let's delete everything else.
Council conduct standards, that goes away.
Yeah,
Form agenda meeting, and that one goes away.
and this is it, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
all right, is there a budget implication to number 1?
No.
I mean, no, that just requires,
I mean, nothing is free, but.
yeah,
Right.
but that's prioritizing
It's
staff
staff time.
tasking.
Right.
Staff time,
That's staff time.
it's not a line item implication, but
Correct.
the downstream effects could be what?
What else doesn't get done while I'm doing that?
Yeah.
Correct.
Also, I mean, I think that we just need to utilize AI and MML a
Yeah.
lot for that.
100%.
Like, MML will give you templates and, I mean, you know,
Yeah.
MML is just basically gonna hand you over, you know, whatever they have, and then you'll have to customize it.
Yep.
And I think if like we give time to like how you brought the policy for procurement to us, and like once a month or once every other month, you bring us a couple policies for us to review. I think that's how we do it, like we chunk it out.
Yeah.
Or even just like department policies, how, like finance policies, accounting and finance?
We need a lot of those, and those are at the top of my list to complete next. I'm sorry?
I was just saying, are there other costs like attorneys and?
So,
There will be minimal attorney costs just to do the review. I mean,
yeah, so one of the things that, I mean, even for policies, governance, and compliance, again, to the extent that you want any assistance, I am happy to help, because like, at the end of the day, anything, government is a wonderful world for AI, because it's trained off of the public domain, and all things are public related to government, and we can put information into it without having to worry about data leakage, because
It's all public.
it's all public. So I think we can get a lot of base frameworks to get to you, to be able to start to massage and carve away at it to what you want.
okay.
Yeah. Okay, so one is basically staff time. Like, should we put like ST or something, or?
I mean, that's a near-term.
Yeah, so near term, you're right, let's use near term.
It's a near-term goal. It's a 2020, it's a.
So let's
it's a-
put green, right? That means it's a go. I think,
Are we sifting through these now, or what are we trying to get done?
yeah,
We're trying to identify
We're
what needs
identifying
to be-
which costs money and which we,
yeah,
it's just a
and
matter
which is a go.
of
Yeah,
time.
So what's above
what
it?
is within this fiscal
Yeah,
year?
so the next,
So two clearly is money.
yeah, so it can use a different color. I
Yeah, you,
think that, but that could also be a cable board request.
Yeah,
it requires money, but whether it's ours or either. it's
They
still
have
something
money to
that-
give, because they wanted to give it to us. for
right,
a go.
there has to be, we have to be able to have the nuance of like, if we can get a proposal to the cable board, if they reject it, then yeah, I think it defers down into is this something that we're gonna spend money on? But I think we have a very clear path for where we're requesting funds from, so it wouldn't be the same thing as something else that specifically requires an investment.
So the call to action on this one would be,
Yeah, I was
Investigate.
gonna say, can you change it to blue? Yeah, just because red is like a stop, and I think blue is like out of our control.
you're
You guys-
considering getting into elementary
Like the
education.
ocean.
Just a career option. Think about it.
You know how many kids we have?
I do, that's what I'm suggesting. Okay, so this one would be, again, like,
I consider it more green because the service that we're receiving. So again, just to be clear, the work that Mark is doing on this as of now is free of charge. So I'm going to put it in a green category until we have a reason not to.
Can I just speak to this? Like, what, I think I wrote this, but what I would mean by data-driven decision-making is we would be able to export a report from whatever our tracking tool was on how many people talked about deer in the meetings from the past 3 years and how many people called about deer in the meetings from the past, or called the office, and then aggregate that with how many deer
Hang on.
incidents there have been.
Dude, let me jump in real quick
And
because
so that
yeah, but
data would
in-
drive our decision-making.
Trustee Slaka, you know very well that in all these circumstances, you need to have a plan before you have a tool. So to me, we would have to, like, complaint tracking tool, you're not talking about the acquisition of a tool, you're talking about the formation of what we're looking to track.
Yeah, like a
tags?
medium,
You'd have to have tags and
a
like,
mode.
how long, how long has this tool been under development?
Almost 2 years.
That's an eternity in Appland.
Well,
But the office is using parts of it.
But remember that it stopped last year because everything stopped in the office. So it got, it hit the staff in March of 24, 5. It doesn't, I think we gotta take Community Connect out of it.
I
What we're
agree with
talking about is what do we want to, what toolbox do we wanna have in the office? What's important to us? That's what we've already talked about that.
And that's, I get that. I think what I'm saying is like, with Community Connect, it's not just, launching the product is not the end of the game. You have to maintain
Right.
it.
Yeah, of
You have to
course,
have
yeah,
staff
I know
to
about
continue
software,
to work
yes.
on it and
Yes.
bug, like it, and
Yeah.
if it's already taking 2 years.
It's like no, but please don't latch
you
onto
can't
that,
look
it's
into
not
that.
important.
So my
That's
point
not-
is, like, are there off-the-shelf products that exist for other municipalities that would help us to track this stuff?
Can I ask, hang on, I wanna address the elephant in the room. Why is this such a touchy subject, David? This is
not a
the
touchy
second time you've
subject.
gotten frustrated at us.
Because it's irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant. It's a tool
in
that
the
helps
sense
us
of
to track.
We wanna
and
learn
pull
about the
data.
tool.
I agree, and the way to learn about the tool is have the person who's been working on the tool, I've been asking for an ages now to come in and give us a presentation. The point that Pam is making is during its test phase, the office was using it. Dana was getting great value out of it. Susan was getting value out of it. They were tracking complaints from beginning to end. They were showing how things started, how it went through the process. Then it, as Pam said, everything broke down and the whole new administration has had no education on it, so it's been just sitting there. So when Abby says it's taken 2 years to implement, Mark doesn't have like 2 years worth of bugs in his program. He's been adding to the program as it goes. I've only seen it
So-
in action once over a year ago. And at that point, I was like, this thing can be amazing because of the survey piece and the complaint tracking piece and the hotspot piece and getting data on every single resident in the village, meaning their address and their email. And when somebody complained about deer and or whatever, it was set up where every single person's address was in there. So like you said, if you wanted to know where deer complaints were, you would just go see where green is.
But my
What I'm
question-
saying is, where's the MVP then? If those things are
Yeah.
in operation, then
The
they should be in
MVP?
production.
Minimum
Like,
viable product.
minimum viable products. You don't like wait until everything is completely built in order to ship the entire app.
That
You
is
start
what
with
they've
what's
been
working,
using, and that's
then it
what-
becomes
They had been using it up
ongoing
until
rollout.
July.
But that doesn't
11th.
make any sense
Okay,
because we were
everybody,
told
just
Don
pause.
was
This
using
isn't-
it and Gemma, and those two people haven't left.
All right, this isn't productive.
I agree.
Mark just needs to come in
Agreed.
and
I-
provide us the capabilities of this tool, and then we can make a determination of whether or not it satisfies the needs.
That is right. So what's the need? What's the problem we're trying to solve?
We want to know what is happening in the community complaint-wise.
That's right.
No, that's really not what we're doing right now. What we were doing right now was, so we can get out of here, was identifying what costs money and what doesn't cost money.
Okay.
Abby's means of doing it is costing money because we have to go buy something. Mark's product doesn't cost us money. So let's just leave it at
But that's
no
not
money
always
right
the
now.
best
Yeah,
solution.
because if it doesn't cost us money, but it doesn't get us to our goal, then it's not the best
Okay,
solution.
but hang on. No. But this is my point.
So don't put a
We have
color
to
next
move
to it.
on to the next issue
Agreed.
because we could be going back and forth on the smart board technology because there's no guarantee that cable board's going to give it to us. Let's learn about the capabilities of what Mark is saying, and if it doesn't satisfy what we want, or we want to materially increase our cost to get 1 or 2 additional widgets into a tool, fine. But let's start with the thing that's free, and then we can determine the rest. And then, so I think we have a clear logical path forward, rather than dismissing the tool that's at our disposal for free. I say we move on to,
Yeah, and the third one doesn't cost money either, I don't believe.
Can I add one more thing?
I mean,
Yeah.
Is
I
it
guess
possible that we
engagement
would
tools.
explore alternatives, like through an RFP process, to say, yes, we have this free option, but are there additional capabilities that would be really powerful that might give us some modernized community engagement tool
Yeah.
options?
that's what I was
That don't
saying.
exist with Mark. So
Yeah.
I'm saying, yes, there's no cost implication to this, but B, are there better opportunities for a better technology to get us closer to where we want to go? Both
Right.
now and in the future. That's all I was saying.
Agreed, but the first step is learning the capabilities of the tool that is free before we write it off as not meeting our needs.
I'm not reading it off.
Are you guys still on the third one, or you moved to the
We're on
fourth
the
one?
fourth.
We're on the
Okay, so tell me this, what is we mean by modernized community engagement tools? What, I don't know who wrote that, but what does that intend? I know what grant identification is, but what is a community engagement tool? What are we talking about here?
To me, that could be like social media, that could be like QR codes telling people to,
Okay.
like any sort of thing that engages the community.
Okay,
And I'm guessing the grant identification is tools for that community engagement, right? So like, there's a lot of tools, I mean, and community engagement tools could also be a sign that is
Okay.
digital.
All right, good.
You know, that tells the community what's going on.
would you guys be open to dropping and grant identification, because it doesn't seem like it matches?
I agree.
I think it's,
cut it.
I think it's with,
No, I agree.
Yeah,
What do
you
you
could say
think?
that
I think
about a lot.
every one of these, to the extent we could get a grant to help us do it, would be,
Yeah.
I also think didn't we have grants or identifying new revenue streams somewhere?
It got dropped off.
where was that?
It was on the.
It was the last one on the second on financial stability. It was dropped off because it only got one vote.
I don't think anyone would,
Where is that?
it was on
It's
the,
right here, right here.
That one?
Diversified, yeah. And
Oh,
then, and then
but-
David said, let's drop off the historic
Yeah.
values thing, but it still just got one vote, so.
I mean, I think none of us are gonna be like, we should not identify grants
Yeah, I
or.
think that's,
Agreed.
that has to do with how you address the
yeah, I
current
don't
budget
think it's a goal.
challenges.
It should be a standard operating procedure.
Yeah.
We should be constantly looking for grants.
So maybe we'll put that as a sub-bullet under the first one. we have never assigned anybody the responsibility in the office or among council or anywhere to spend a part of their time looking for, hunting for grant money.
Did the treasurer have grant on the PD or additional revenues or any of that?
I think it was more like
I think we could add that if we're going to.
There was some accountability in the treasurer's
I was gonna
job
say, I
was shared
remember
with the
us
administrator.
including grant in there.
Yeah,
Or at least seeking creative budget revenue sources.
yeah.
Okay. So is modernized community engagement tools, is it a green?
I think it's kind of a sliding scale. If it's like a new sign that's digital, that's probably money. If it's improve our communication through social media channels and operating procedures of
Yeah,
emails,
that's a
and
few $100 a month.
that's
Right.
that's green. So I think
Yeah.
there's definitely things that can be done in that capacity in the near term.
Yeah,
So the rest of the statement for modernized community engagement tools says to ensure all village updates are communicated effectively to residents where everyone can access them.
okay.
That was the rest of that idea.
Okay. For the next column. I mean, I don't know if any of those cost money, do they?
This just seems like operating stuff.
Wait, I have a question. How many did transparent public reporting of expenditures get?
So I think we have one too many.
Yeah,
This
I
column
don't think
that
that
was
one.
just
I mean, that's obviously a requirement.
Hang on, so,
Yeah,
It was 1, 2, 3, and 4.
okay, so
But
then
four didn't get enough.
yeah.
four didn't get on.
You originally had audit and implement, but then you took it out.
Delete,
Because you decided it's essentially the same as the deep dive.
no, but we never had that maintain transparent public reporting of expenditures.
I'm
No,
sorry,
that one
yeah,
never got
so
in.
it should be, here,
It should be seek additional revenue sources.
Yeah.
That's the grant one, that's the
That was, I was
problem.
like, I feel like we had it on.
Yeah,
here.
we did, that's the top one.
yep.
So move seek additional revenue sources.
So, can I ask I didn't vote for the first one, and I made the list, so can I just get clarity? Because it's seek additional revenue sources to address police and fire. Why are we limiting ourselves to police and fire?
Because those are key things that we need to address right now.
Well, because police and fire, the only really means that we can increase revenue through a millage or a bond. We can't bond for
Yeah.
just what we want to spend money on. If we get a police millage, then that frees up the general fund. And as far as fire, we need to figure out how to generate
I thought
additional
that was-
revenues in order to support our fire department.
I thought that was more like find creative revenue sources.
I thought it was too.
Yeah.
So, hey, Evan, if you could put that item back in there, I think there's a punctuation problem. Seek additional revenue sources to address police, comma, fire, and operating costs.
That's what I thought it was.
Yeah. It's a goal,
Okay, that makes sense, that there
that's what
are
I,
three different items.
there you go. Police, comma,
Fire,
fire,
comma, and operating costs.
But what you just said, David, we can't do a millage just for operating costs. right?
no, but
But
we,
this is just seeking additional revenue
Revenue
sources. The first two would be through millage, the other would be cost savings,
yeah,
or grants, or
yeah.
Can
cable
we,
boards and things like that.
I think we need to talk about this because this has come up,
What has come up?
the whole millage thing. And no one's really, everyone just keeps on cooking the can. I don't feel comfortable
Well,
voting.
I think that's the point of
You
this,
feel
right?
comfortable voting what? I'm not following.
If we are going to go for a millage, we have to put it on an election.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have to decide in the next 60 days
But
whether
that's
that's
what
gonna
this would
happen.
do.
Okay, so let's talk about it because it's on here.
Now?
No, we're never gonna
Now?
get done with the meeting if
Let's
we're all
talk about it
gonna
now.
express opinions
Okay.
about.
So I think I thought this wasn't a millage. I thought it was seeking additional revenue sources. If it was seeking a millage to address police, fire, and operating costs, that's what it should have said.
Well, isn't it exploring several
I know, I
paths
didn't
to
write
that?
it. Or is it just the millage?
Do you know of other sources to generate revenue besides a millage? increase?
I don't know. That'd
Yeah,
be
that's
the
what I don't
exploration of
know.
it, right?
It didn't
Like-
say millage. If it had said millage.
So here's a perfect example. The fact that we're grouping in police and fire implies that we're gonna pursue millage increases for both police and fire. Those are two separate things. Additionally, fire, I don't know the current status of whether or not Bingham is staying with our fire department or not, but then there's the, do we explore the possibility of other joining up with another municipality?
Could be,
Like we.
still gotta have sufficient money, our revenues in that area.
That's my point.
increasing.
That's what I'm saying. That is something outside of millage.
Yeah, if this was millage, I think we have to go back to see how many people prioritize that and how many people didn't.
Okay, can I just say that it has to be a priority, it's not a choice. There's
Are you guys
no
seriously
way-
thinking that that's not a means of revenue? Like, do you really think there's another way to do this? I'm just curious. Just curious.
David, can I
That's
just-
where we're headed? Yeah, please, take the lead
So,
on this.
when I started, it was already made clear to me that by 2028 or 29, we were gonna be in the red because of police funding. Take the fire out, okay? That's a whole separate
Exactly.
situation. Let's just talk about police right now. So, we were going to fail if we did not run this millage to pull our police services out of our general fund and fund it entirely with this millage. Now that we've had this issue with the treasury, it's even more important. We will need to move forward with this millage sooner than later. We don't have an additional year to wait.
Completely agree. That's why I was saying that, again, I just think that it is written the right way. I interpreted revenue sources to mean, that's why I specifically called out, it clarifies police and fire,
Okay.
because that entails a police millage.
Yes.
I do think, though, for purposes of streamlining, that the scope of this should either be separated or remove fire, because we want to be targeted in the approach.
Okay.
So let's go
The
back.
key is the police. Fire can become an entirely separate conversation, but we really can't even have that conversation until we know what Bingham Farms is going to do. It does look like there's a really good chance they are going to move to Bloomfield.
And I think we need to talk about that because that means they've done a cost benefit analysis.
Seek an additional source of fire protection that right now we can't, because they have public water. So
Well-
they can, now, I know we've talked about it on our end, that there's a means to doing it, but
Yeah.
the way it's been easier for them
It is-
to
yes,
break
that's true.
off the fire piece. Honestly, their bigger concern isn't the fire piece. If you look at our budget runs, we don't have a problem getting fire trucks out, and we rarely have fires. What we have a problem is getting to residents that need medical attention, and that the medical runs are 10 times a month more than the fire runs are a month. And we have we have a department that doesn't provide that at all. That's one of the main reasons that Bingham is leaving, is their concern of the fire, of the medical alert responsiveness, and the fact that Bloomfield can give that to them. Now, our surrounding communities can give us that regardless of our water situation. So we have to look at it separately. Is there someone that can help us from a fire support if we wanted to go away from what we have? And is there someone that can also help us from a fire, or can they do the both? Bingham is just looking at one place that can provide both services for them.
So my recommendation in this category would be to remove the third one, which is deep dive analytical review to identify cost savings opportunities, because that folds into budget stabilization. I
We'll just
understand.
put them together.
Yeah,
We just back
put 'em-
it up.
Sure, and then separate out police village, and then fire. I don't know how we categorize that, but I think we separate out the two separate issues, so that, again, we can be targeted in, we're allocating bandwidth and resource towards figuring out police, and then intentionally, we're allocating separate bandwidth towards fire.
But is
And the
fire,
fire department is not currently operating at anywhere near the shortfall, and it has no immediate impact on our general fund because we're not using it at all.
Right.
I think we can remove that even. Then why don't we put,
No, I don't wanna lose sight of it, cause the second the
you
Bingham
can't.
Farm domino falls, we gotta figure it out.
We still have to do with a revenue issue, because we're still, whatever way we go, we're
Yeah.
still short on revenue. But that one can be a simple Headley rollback. We don't have to do a millage for them. We
Okay.
can just roll back their
So the first
existing.
one is green, right? It's
Yeah,
gonna take
And
money.
number 3 is basically a sub-product of number 2.
So green, and then
So-
2 and 3 just require a treasurer, you know?
How does one cost money?
It says
green,
the
green
is-
means doesn't.
The check.
Oh, I'm
is
sorry,
free.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
It's okay.
Guys, regarding the deep dive analytical, what we done, there was, I think we said we were gonna combine deep dive analytical review and the fourth one, which is not on that list, which is audit and implement internal financial controls, forecasts and budgets. Both of those items received 4 votes each. So,
How are those different than budget stabilization?
they may not
They're
be, I'm just,
they're the vehicle.
Okay, but really quick, we just make a note that these go into the treasurer PD, because they're clearly our priorities. We create a new position to get them done, and so the treasurer needs to address these 3 things. That is the staff, time, and cost, and these should be priorities for the next person.
And addressing current budget challenges is one. Isn't that what we're doing?
What's going on?
Nothing, I just have a thing where there's an alarm that keeps.
He has like ADHD, so he can't. Like the noise, it's like sensory.
Oh, no problem. So, what are we trying to do here?
I
We-
think
we-
green,
we-
right?
we-
It doesn't
it's
cost
they're all
money.
budget related. It's all budget.
Things green?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they're all budget related stuff. We need to
finance
deal with the
director.
budget. However we get there, whether it's millages, whether it's
Aren't we-
saving on
yeah.
expenses, whether it's
It's kind of all the above, right?
alternative, yeah, it's all, we need to deal with the budget. One, how we save money in what we're spending, and how do we generate more revenue? Only 2 things you can ideally really do.
The third one. So, recruit, retain, incentivize. I almost think that's a green and a money. Because we can incentivize, we can retain small businesses by looking at our code and figuring out how to make it less burdensome for businesses to advertise, get pedestrian traffic.
Let's define, I mean, like what constitutes free, like low-level opportunities, like low-hanging fruit there to recruit businesses? And what are retention strategies or incentives that require
I mean, Rachel would know
budget dollars?
the various means of incentivization.
So that's,
There's actual money, there's
tax incentive, tax abatements.
ordinance.
Easements.
Streamlining.
okay, identify barriers to new businesses entering vacant spaces. Actually, I think this one is more of a green, right? I think that's just like a data call and a conversation, like
Yeah, it shouldn't cost
when,
money.
Jay came in, he talked about 3 things. Have we thought about our easier? You know, have we thought about city water? Have we thought about this? So I think like we just identify the barriers and then we have our list of like, should we be prioritizing these? Are these really preventing new businesses from entering?
I think they
They
are.
are.
And I
They
think it's
absolutely
really.
Well, I know, but I mean, I think that's, we've never
Right.
looked at
Let's
them as
identify
a
'em.
whole.
Yeah, let's
Exactly.
identify
It
it, but
could
there are
be-
definitely barriers
yeah.
out there.
Yeah.
What we might want to, I think that one might potentially will have a dollar sign on it, depending on, identifying a barrier could be, looking at building conditions and addressing building conditions.
But see, I think that's free.
Identification is different
It's
than
not-
resolution.
Yeah, it's free, because that's just us passing a code saying, you're saying for the commercial district, we have a higher, you know, blight code than we do. So I think like the identification of it and the like holistic focus on
There's
the,
no reason that identifying should not be
yeah,
done.
so I think take off the money, because we talked about, there's creative ways that you can structure, you can make non-service oriented businesses, you know, you can only incentivize commercial businesses downtown. Like, we don't need more doctor's office and more lawyers and more, you know what I mean? We need more consumer businesses.
I think where I was headed was, is that a skill set that exists here? Do we need to buy some skills? Or do we need to, is that something an existing staff person can do? I think.
Work on incentives for, I can do
No,
that.
no, the identify barriers section.
Oh, I can do that.
Okay, fine, then I'm agreeing to take off the dollar amount.
Could do that.
I'm not
Yeah, we-
presuming
I
that
got
you
a-
are gonna
I got
be
a-
an on-the-ground
I got a
person
pen in
on
my
all
head
this
right now.
stuff.
Yeah.
So,
Well, I kind of
Yeah,
am. I
okay.
think that isn't really anyone else.
Develop incentives
Who
to streamline
else would be
processes for business.
I mean, this is number one to me.
Yeah, I think the third is the money.
No, I'm saying the third is basically the same as number, it's just a category within number one.
Yeah, it's a money and a check.
And
Yeah.
incentives or processes is again barriers, right?
Yeah.
All right, here's our big ticket items
Yeah.
over here.
Okay. So let's start from the bottom. I think safety is a check. It's not necessarily a,
I think it's maybe a plan, like what constitutes
exactly,
safety,
like the
what-
stop signs. I
it's an
think
audit
3
of what
stop
is there and what's
signs
not, yeah.
were like a few $100s. And that improved safety. You know, so,
Allegedly.
yeah, we never did a study.
I mean, it's been 60 days. I know that there's been no incidents with the ice on Wing Lake since that stop sign came in. And I've looked into the police reports too. The first two is gonna be money.
$2 signs for number one?
Yeah.
Maybe 3, maybe 4. Maybe $5 million worth of dollar signs.
So the last, quote that we have from, the HRC study said, 2.3 million for the 13-mile sidewalk. And then that was in 2022.
Bluefield just got like, what, 1.6 or 1.7 to finish theirs?
Yeah, and you can like look at SEMCOG, you know, and Beverly Hills got some money from the state.
They got a lot, they got it from several different
Yeah.
sources, but yeah.
But like,
yeah.
so I think that's a big thing for
Yeah.
grant, like putting,
I mean, isn't this just like a focused on it for the future and figure out ways we can do it eventually?
we might have to do it in parts, phases. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even the planning for this is gonna cost money, right? Like, a lot of
Without
money.
question.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing, is like, there's probably 3
It comes
phases.
down to the line of the whole kind of Project Ready, and Project Ready could be the plans we already have in place.
Right.
Would be sufficient for that, because they just would need to be
Yeah,
updated.
Yeah. we
But
did-
I mean, as far as like Project Ready money we should be seeking money for our sidewalks on a
Yeah.
non-stop
Yeah.
basis.
So I have a
Our
question.
surrounding communities that are far richer than us,
Yeah.
as far as their revenue sources.
Right.
Have all gotten monstrous grants to do their sidewalks.
So what about phasing this one out? So for any large dollar, it's like, we understand that the sidewalks are going to be the big ticket item, easements may be smaller, we've got
gonna
crosswalk
say-
lighting, so it becomes like,
Tiering.
I think the two-door easement is not gonna be a lot of money.
No, that one's cheap.
It's literally like 2 houses we would need an easement from, and then,
I think there's 5.
how many? I think it's only 2.
We talking about the one.
It's the one on the one side, the one on the other.
Yeah, I think
It's 2. It's 2 or 3, it's not 5, yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
The one that come through, yeah, if you come down the
Okay.
Yeah,
River
and-
Drive.
Oh, on 13 Mile Road?
No,
no,
two-door easement. Two-door is the landlocked.
Sorry, I
That's in
was
your
thinking,
neighborhood.
yeah.
That pops out on Suzanne.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Where
I was
river
thinking
goes up and
13
goes
Mile
to
Road because,
Yeah, this is where river goes up those people's driveway.
yeah, yeah.
Making those people's driveway the pathway.
Yes.
So there's 2 people that have to give us an easement. on
So
the
I
driveway.
think two-door easement, you can put I'd like to put a check on that. I think that enhances a huge portion of, I don't know, infrastructure, that's like next on infrastructure's list. Just because it's very low cost.
Is it a cost if we have to buy
It'll be a
property
cost,
from them?
potentially. I mean, if we get an easement, I would imagine that.
Okay. So there would be
Maybe
dollars
2.
in there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
Not
put 2,
tons.
both.
yeah.
But it's not nearly what like a 13-mile sidewalk. That's why I
Yeah.
just didn't want to have
I was
explanation
focused on
point.
13
Even if
mile
we took
next
the
to
land,
your
I mean,
easement,
it's,
so that's
Right.
it's
why I
their
thought.
driveway.
Right.
Okay. Making Franklin a place people want, seasonal program and ice cream food trucks, that's clearly money.
To me, the first one is a lot of planning. Right? Like, we can organize a food truck. We can organize drive-ins. And an ice rink, there's lots of people that want to do it. It's just a matter of like planning and giving some,
Community organization, I mean, do we have
Money.
any, like, I don't know, I know we have the FCA, but I mean, like, volunteers, like just general volunteers, like we want a community garden, like do we have any people who will volunteer their time to specific initiatives outside of like
we
food
do.
trucks and drive-ins?
Yeah, we do.
We do, they just need money. Like, they went to the FCA for a proposal for the ice rink.
I mean, real tangible things could get donations. You could get a business to go give you $5,000 for an ice rink, and we surround all the boards with Joe Schmo's ice cream, Joe Schmo's ice cream, whatever. And they give you the $5,000, and then on the inside, like they do with the Red Wings, and you got the whole inside lined with advertisement, and now all of a sudden your ice rink is paid for.
Yeah. David, when when we organized the Woodside, we pay for the food trucks or no?
No,
Yeah, it's free.
we don't
Like,
generate any, so I could actually set up that connection where if we have a spot to put the truck, I could get it a weekly basis, cause I already do that for Woodside. It won't generate revenue for us, but it's not gonna cost us anything.
To do what was the question?
To do, in the summer, a food truck every week.
A weekly food truck.
That'd be awesome. I mean, I know FCA was trying to do that.
It's, I already have my vendor, so I can just get it organized.
Yeah, there's a company that
Yeah,
oversees all of them,
Yep.
and you just tell them which one you want, and they'll get them there that
Yep.
day, yeah.
yeah.
And if they don't have the truck you want, they just fill it in with a sub.
Pull this up, yeah.
Yeah, I think the thing that, for the FCA, the reason that it was not consistent is, and again, no criticism of them, but they were looking to generate the revenue, so they had to go out and do the recruitment of the food trucks itself rather than using the vendor.
So in something like this, I think there's a dollar sign, but we do have like at least 2 community groups, maybe 3, because the FCA and the Main Street people that do community, those are, all of the community events we have are owned by one of those community groups. So, I'm not sure, I mean, are you thinking in terms of, yes, these are a good idea, they're gonna be delegated to the groups that already do them, or are you thinking the village itself is going to be in the business of doing seasonal programming?
I think that, well, one, just full disclosure, I was the one that was like, this probably needs to be a future thing, but,
Yeah.
the food truck thing for me is like very low lift, which is why I'm like, that's fine, I can do it.
Okay,
But what I would wanna do, for instance, would be like, there's no reason that we wouldn't do a coordination, at least in the near term, with like the softball, baseball league.
Yeah, of
Right?
course,
Cause
yeah.
like, people are already downtown, now we have a food truck there, like, that's how we start to get
And the
the,
food truck guys would love it if we were doing it on a,
because they'll make money,
Yeah, I
way
mean-
more money off of it.
go on a Tuesday in
Exactly.
the spring. There's 3 fields
Right.
full
Okay.
of people.
Yep.
So let's put a check there and talk about the ones that are low lifts, no money. If it's a low lift, no money thing, since we can't do a lot this year because we have no money, I think that's what we need to do.
I would leave it at communicating to the FCA guys, we're really excited about your plans for your summer events, and not get in this business this year. That's what they do, ball league, the Historic Society has done some, FCA and Main Street. So my thinking, and I would urge us to, this is a good goal, but it would be carried out by somebody else other than the village, outside of some support, which, remember, we have a budget for next fiscal year, if everything works out okay. At some point, will likely decide to restore that 20K expense budget that was part of the Main Street budget, which this kind of stuff came out of.
But I mean, yeah, I think that we could talk to the FCA and say, can you do an ice rink? Can you do a food truck? Can you do a drive-in?
Yeah.
And if
yeah.
they say yes, then we don't do it. If they say that's not a priority, then we say, okay, then we're gonna do it.
Oh, okay.
Because that means that if they don't do it, we don't get it for our residents.
Who though? That's kind of where I'm like,
I'm not.
is that where I want to spend our village staff's time right now?
No, but a food, I mean, I wouldn't mind spending 5 hours figuring out how to get an ice rink going. That comes up every single year.
Does this community have an Optimist Club or a Rotary or anything like that?
We
No?
do have a
It's
really,
the Optimist Club right here.
yeah, we do have a really good,
Population one.
the local Boy Scouts, they do a lot within the
Yep.
community,
Oh,
so we can
that's a good
partner with
idea.
them.
So in Independence, the Optimist Club builds a ice rink in the village in Depot Park every year. So if we can just find a group to work with like that, I mean, but what this could become is instead of trying to actually figure out how to implement these things right off the bat, why don't we use this item to build a plan and then turn that plan into implementation a little bit down the road?
Completely agree.
So the next two are money. Right?
For this last one, was this a mistake? It seems like two like
These are
accidentally
two
got lumped
things.
together.
These are two
They're-
things.
They're not related.
When I was voting,
It is a mistake.
I was
Yeah,
just
they are.
thinking creative use of underutilized spaces is what I was. But
Oh, senior community programming partnership with nearby cities is a separate thing.
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
already have
And-
that.
I
and
was,
it-
I was in it for the
Right.
creative use.
Yeah, so I think people were voting really for the first one, right? So
Yeah.
could we
Yeah.
delete the, okay.
Before you take that off, just heads up, I mean, Dan and Jeff are our liaisons with Next. We currently do make a contribution to Birmingham Next.
Right, so it doesn't need to be a goal, we're already
Right.
doing
It's
it.
already
It's
this.
already being done.
It may be, what we don't know what the financial expectations of Franklin and Bingham and Beverly are going to be. Maybe next year, maybe the year after. Right now, they don't ask us for much. But
But does that need to be for this fiscal?
I think that we should, for next budget, we should maintain the contribution level in the budget pending what business model they're going to end up with in next. It's all very fluid. I just don't want to pretend that there's not a problem there. There is. And I don't see us doing senior programming because of our relationship with Next, but I do think it's a potential cost item for
So
us.
could I just repeat back? Given the state of Next and the ongoing conversation between them and Birmingham, we don't have to do anything as far as decisions, but exploration of succession planning if
Good, that's
something
good.
bad, like if they can't figure out the relationship with Birmingham, or they come back and basically say you need to make significantly more of a financial commitment in order to participate, we're gonna need to look to options, so having succession planning in place may be,
That makes a lot of sense to
Okay.
me.
Are we putting 10,000 in the budget for 2026 for Next?
I don't know, but we're not doing the budget right now.
I know, but Jeff and what was said today was it's already in the budget, so we don't need to talk
well, I
about it.
think we just presume that it's there, and then if budget stabilization says that, no, we can't make that work, or we talk about priorities, but again, we don't need to, I just don't wanna get into the minutia of what is our budget gonna look like.
Okay, so then
So
delete
the
it.
question is, does this stay in at all under, in language like, or do we take it off?
Take it off, I don't think anyone.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so,
Is there a cost attached to creative use of underutilized spaces? I mean, it feels
I
like,
think that's more of a plan, right?
Yeah, that's like
It's a plan, yeah.
exploring
Yeah.
what else we could possibly do. It
Yeah.
could cost money, it could not cost money.
Okay. This
And-
looks good.
And I mean, it could also fall into the, I mean, creative use also could be creative use to do seasonal stuff. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
fairly similar, but I don't think that this is a terrible guiding principle.
I mean, I don't know if we need to do this tonight, but it feels like the next step is for each of these things, like what would be our North Star for the year? What are we trying to achieve with policy, governance, and compliance?
Or-
And like, when will we commit to completion?
Could I make maybe one step before that, and if you disagree, by all means, let me know. Assignment out to
That's
subcommittees.
my number one. That's,
Okay.
I agree. Before we do that, we have to allocate these.
Yeah.
To who's gonna put their brain on it.
Yep.
It can't just be Rachel and Evan putting their brain on everything. That's not gonna work. So, right, policy, governance, and whatever, maybe that's, legal committee.
Legal.
Where, so that would be the beginning, which is to start dividing these up. And it doesn't even have to be specific committees. It could be as individual.
Right.
Yeah,
I
I
agree.
mean, policy's probably legal and financial.
Yeah, I mean, one of us that has, and if there's anything on any of these that you have in your regular life, some background on it would be assistance, that would also help.
Yep.
So I think those two go hand in hand. Let's identify who can vet them out, and then once they've been vetted, put
Yep.
these are priorities, then we gotta prioritize the priorities.
Yeah, so for one, I want to be involved in that. So whether that's legal or just myself bringing it to legal, but I
Yeah,
think one of the
you're
things
great at that, so-
that I would look at, is Rachel, if you just want to identify things that you would like me to work on.
Okay.
And then I can start to bring it together, and then, either bring it directly to you first, so that you can go through it, provide feedback, get it to a better form, then bring it to legal as a subcommittee, we can all discuss it, and then bring it to council.
The upgrade being technology, can that be a staff thing? If like that's something we wanna invest money in, and it might have to be a proposal to the cable board.
Well, somebody needs to tell them what are some of the specific things in that category. I mean, we have one example there, which is smart boards. What are the types of things that we're talking about?
I mean, I think live streaming would be a part of that too.
Right?
mean, those
So, as
concerns
we
over just
and as I
infrastructure
mentioned earlier,
upgrades.
yeah, before we focus on live streaming, we gotta focus
Yeah.
on internet. But yeah, so that is, I mean, that seems more like the infrastructure even.
Do you wanna talk about it on Friday?
Sure.
I would also argue, just, we had some discussion last year over like room setup.
Yeah.
I mean, this is still not great. When we have a lot of people here, there's not a ton of room to sit. Like, that was a relatively small cost for new tables and chairs and like using this space a little more optimally.
Do you wanna put that to the infrastructure committee? We'll talk about it Friday.
I don't know that I'm on the infrastructure committee anymore.
Oh, Dan,
Sure.
Jeff,
Sure, fine with me.
okay.
Can someone ask Mark to come to?
Yeah,
a
Pam,
meeting?
you've been working the closest with Mark. I think the time has come that we would love Mark to come in and show us where things are at, unless he's not ready. I mean,
No, he's ready. I think, Rachel, when you met with Mark, didn't you agree that he should be here either in March or April?
Yes. So I'll get that set up with
Okay.
him and.
But he
Good.
did say that he can meet with anyone anytime. So it
Yes.
doesn't
He will.
need to be a meeting.
If you just call him, he'll come here
Yeah.
and set it up and run it through by you.
Yeah, and that way we don't have to pay our attorneys to sit through it.
Would the infrastructure committee like to hit up the cable board for our dollar ask, or should we wait?
Friday at, Friday at 9:30 if you're available, we're gonna talk about technology. And a proposal to the cable board.
Here we go. Action.
What was this one? Community engagement tools.
This is again,
Almost the same thing, right? If people can remotely participate or, you know, in meetings, that's a community engagement tool. So we can just kind of take it up. We talk about tools and technology. Is that what was meant by this?
Yeah, and to that whole idea of the whole live streaming and, well, not live streaming, remote participation by residents, to some extent, we do need to get, understand the legality of it, and to what extent we're allowed to do that, and what are the barriers and rules associated with it, because there's a huge OMA implication to that.
Yeah. okay.
Okay. All right, so all infrastructure, so we'll put that on the agenda.
Yeah. So we have, for infrastructure, we're doing the meeting technology and,
community engagement tools.
okay.
For the next one.
Just for the record, you guys, the last year's communications plan did have a lot about tech upgrades in it. You might want to refer to that as as you're thinking about what you might want to do. Some groundwork has been done already
Yeah,
by
I'll look
Meg.
at it. So do we have a date that we as a council would have to vote on whether we're bringing a police millage to the residents in 2026?
I have that on my desk. I will email you tomorrow. We have to have the language, I believe, by March 16th.
So that means we have to vote on it next meeting.
March 16th for a millage when? In November?
In November.
So it has to be on the agenda next month.
July?
Seems more like June or July.
No, I think, let me email you
Yeah,
tomorrow.
find out.
I'm trying to remember what my
Yeah.
notes say, and I could be
March
wrong.
seems early.
I might have that confused with something
Because
else.
we'd have to vote in order to bring that on the agenda.
Yeah, the reason that I was thinking is because filing deadlines for candidates is July. So I would imagine it'd be similar,
I
like,
think it's July or August, because it has to go to the
Yeah, we've done this
AG.
before, when we've had to get charter language on it. It's more the end of the summer, it's not the spring.
Yeah.
Okay. But either
But
way,
definitely check that
there
out,
has to be a
Rachel, but I'm
vote.
pretty sure that's not that early. If it is, then we're scrambling.
There has to be a vote.
So, just, I think we're at the place where we want to act on some of these things. Let me just throw out a couple of items that I didn't include. I don't think, it doesn't look like anybody else does, but have appeared in the last 5 years. We've already talked about stormwater system. I do think we need another look at that. If infrastructure wants to take that on, to do an assessment of what we might or might not want to do, great. Otherwise, I think it's something that Rachel could look at based on, there's a lot of documentation. Are we set on, do we think wireless is going to be an issue coming up, or is that stable? What about contamination of the building in the village center, the brownfield? Is municipal water going to pop up? Again, it does periodically. I don't think it will this year. I don't think we're ready to take it on, but
I
it's
know that
blooming.
people looking to develop or invest in the downtown would love to see that.
Well, and that could very well become part of that barrier identification outcome. But that was an issue with Van Avery and also the church and the restaurant. We've tackled trails. We've got one. We've got a master plan that's got about 7. Sidewalks we've talked about, and potential for municipal water in the downtown area. So those are things that were carried over that are,
honestly,
Yeah.
like, I think we just stay the course on these ones because like municipal water could very well become identified barrier to new businesses. There may be a lot of businesses that are
Well,
like,
it's gonna come, it is a barrier.
right?
yeah.
So I think we just keep it to this, and let kind of that exploration identify.
Okay, so for the second column, the first needs to go to who? The finance committee? Or does it need to go to chief to understand a one-pager on why?
She's already done it.
Can we
He's done
share
his
that
five-
one page?
He's already done a 5 or an 8-year long-term.
Okay, can you recirculate that?
Well, I think police and then fire, both of those are the finance committee. Would they not be?
Okay,
So I think we just allocate it to that.
okay. And then the next two, is that for a treasurer?
It's a treasurer, it's an administrator, it's you and me and anyone that's looking at the budget.
I think what I do is work with the treasurer and put together a report and bring it to the board, and we'll discuss the issues and ideas that we have to rectify them.
Maybe a financial consultant
Yeah, and I think,
that we have
I think,
that offers free services.
my thing is on this one too, like I know we've gone through budget stabilization, we've done budgets before where we always talk about being lean. But the truth is that we're at a period where we need to make hard decisions.
Yeah.
And so we need a budget that reflects hard decisions.
I like what Trustee Gates said last year about, like, we need to explore benefits, our healthcare. Like, I don't know what, evaluation was done. I never saw it. I was told it was done, but like, we do need to understand what we're spending, what we're matching, what we're giving. If there's a cleaner, more tech-savvy way to do that and still be a competitive employer, because there's a salary and benefits take up a lot of our operating costs.
They're number 1 and 2.
They're always 1 and 2, and you've said that, and we have the
They're in
expertise.
I thought we're locked in a 3-year, we already negotiated the police
4 years.
Yeah,
contract.
but I mean for employees too.
Sure, but what about benefits? Is that roped into the? Yeah, so I don't know.
Oh, on the police contract, yeah,
Yeah,
benefits are
so we
included in
can't
that.
touch that.
Employees
can't.
get the same as police?
No.
No, just the one's union.
Oh, yeah, so we can, yeah.
So last year would have been the time to do benefits discussions, but
We visited in the past converting to a, moving away from pension. We've got a traditional pension program here.
Come on, for the police.
Pardon?
Just for the police.
Yeah, for the police. And to Abby's point, we just signed the contract, so but it's gonna take more than 2 years to get that done because they don't wanna change. We tried it. And does anybody have any appetite for that?
not this year.
Yeah, not this year, okay.
That feels like a good long-term item.
So is that going towards a committee? Finance, right? The whole thing is finance.
I
Yeah.
think that's finance,
It's all
yeah.
money.
Okay, so
I mean,
you know.
unless the benefits piece, but not this year. I mean,
Yeah, HR wouldn't do benefits this year, it'd be a waste of your time.
do we
Oh.
offer any other, like, fringe benefits, or, like, can we trim any?
We offer small life insurance policies, a disability,
401K, all of it.
401K.
Like, do we cut the match?
Pension,
We don't have a pension for our employees.
but we match.
We match
401K.
401K.
The match is different for different levels of
Yeah.
employees.
All right, well, we can look at,
But yeah, those things are in place.
Yeah, it is an option. I mean, it's a low stakes option because we're talking about a handful of people, but, I mean, if hard decisions are what we gotta think about, I mean, that's places to start.
I'm following.
What was that?
So I'm not following what you guys are saying. Like,
Well, we have
hard-
to- we have
but
to
on the
cut.
hard decision piece.
Like, I'm looking at Rachel talking
Yeah.
about cutting her retirement
Yeah.
contribution.
that's a hard decision to
That's a
make.
hard decision to make for
Who's
her family.
suggesting doing that?
We are, right now.
Yeah.
We're saying that we need to evaluate our benefits and determine if we need to save money by being
You might
leaner.
be. I'm not. So, I mean, you guys might be saying that's the case, but I'm not following what.
Well, maybe the state,
You're suggesting that we would reevaluate how we're compensating the employees?
Yes, yes.
Okay,
That's what Abby said.
again, this is solutioning, right?
Okay.
Can we just allocate where we're going on these? We're already at 10 after 8. So we're on the third column now?
So the whole second column is going to finance.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's money.
Okay, so identify cost-saving opportunities is where we were at. And we're saying benefits and salaries as number one and number two for operating costs. And that's why those need to be analyzed, reviewed, and addressed. And if hard decisions need to be made by the finance committee, then that's what has to be made.
Yeah, and I think, and again, like, you all are empowered to your point, this is the thing that I think, without getting into solutioning, there is an element of the people committee in this as well that needs to be consulted, similarly with like policies, governance, and compliance. Yes, like, I want to take the pen on that, yes, I think some of it goes to legal, I think some of it goes to people, right? Because we're gonna have.
People are affected.
Exactly, and there may be things about our conduct, our processes, there may be things about the administration's processes, and that would be more appropriate in people.
Okay. Third one. 1 and 2, Rachel, can you take those? I mean, two we will all take, because we're all sit here and we listen to what businesses say. And we hear and we visit and we patron.
Yes.
But I mean, I think even if you just create a shared Word document, like put in the barriers that you've heard of.
I think I do all three of those.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be awesome.
Okay.
The fourth column, I think, is all infrastructure.
Fourth column's all infrastructure. Okay. And then the fifth column.
Partnerships.
Yeah, so I think the first is, do we wanna, okay, so who's the first? The second almost seems like it could be infrastructure, right? Wi-Fi installation, chessboard seating. And then the creative use of underutilized spaces. But the first one definitely is gonna be partnerships.
Could that be creative use of underutilized spaces? Could that also be considered like an incentive for businesses in the village? Like the cider mill?
Mm-hmm.
Is that something we could do, like model with our biggest anchor business?
So move the
Here's-
third one to the third column, kind of?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I mean, it could be a part of the strategy, which is like, could that underutilized space like spur on small businesses? Like who wanna
Mhm.
see, if we have a pop-up art market or something
Right.
in the
Yeah.
cider mill, like
I
it
like that.
becomes.
Or if someone wants to organize like a farmer's market and then they get some of the cut or something. Yeah, underutilized space.
Or like Tangerine used to do tastings and stuff that like,
Mm-hmm. Okay. Alright, so we have our priorities and it's allocated to committees.
What did we say for seasonal programming and gathering spaces?
Should that one with the same thought also go in the third column?
Which one?
Seasonal programming, is that also kind of like business revitalization?
yeah, could we get like partnerships or
Yeah.
incentives with even businesses outside of Franklin?
Oh, for like an ice rink idea or something like this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll just combine all of that into the third column.
Well, the gathering spaces can go to
Yeah, it's
infrastructure,
infrastructure, yeah,
so
Okay.
we'll talk about that on Friday.
okay.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you could just rename it. I mean, it's revitalizing the village center and making, making Franklin a good place to stay. At least it allows us to assign it to an existing group.
Okay, so just on milestones and tasks, every committee that got a task, can they please discuss that in the next month or two, then bring it back, right, by
As
the
like an
end of
agenda?
March? So that way we can see like, hey, we've priced out smart boards. This is what it is. We talked to the cable board,
Yeah, I mean, I personally think that our subcommittee should be on the agenda, and then they would be expected to provide a report
in the March meeting.
each month,
Okay, so there has to be some update given in the March meeting.
correct?
Okay.
Motion to adjourn?
Evan, or Rachel, you guys have been keeping track of this, that you'll be able to circulate something that has what we just agreed on?
I'm pretty sure I'll be able to read this tomorrow and type it all up.
There's gotta be hieroglyphics down there, but yeah, if you can.
We're not, are we?
Then
All right. Anything else
Yeah,
that we need
well,
to
right.
discuss?
the budget needs to come to the council the first time at the April meeting? Right, correct.
Charter says we have to have a draft budget in place by May, so.
It has to
yeah.
come to April.
So by April, we should
Okay,
definitely
so
have
March
something we're
needs to be
looking
an
at.
update meeting, April needs to be, so, okay. So everyone just know, the next 45 days,
Right, we don't have a charter.
whatever we're gonna pay for needs to be in the budget.
Rachel, I'm just double checking something that I think you said. Looking for a budget planning calendar.
I said that?
No, I'm picking up on a comment that you made about it was, we have typically, in the first part of the year, we
Oh.
work on gathering facts and creating a budget for the coming fiscal year. Are you doing that?
Yes, I will create a budget planning calendar for
Oh,
you.
okay, that was my question.
Okay.
Okay, and my other question is, I think it's been asked, but I didn't quite get the answer. We need the conversation about going to the voters for a charter change and a millage increase. What are we, where is that being managed? Is it legal? Is it in Rachel's office?
What charter
Yeah,
amendment?
what charter change?
Well, if we're gonna raise taxes, we're already taxing at the maximum 3.5 mils. We have to ask the voters for a charter change.
No.
No?
We're asking for
The
a
millage.
police millage.
Yeah,
You're
it's a
asking for a
police millage.
separate millage?
Correct.
Okay, and that does not require
And
a,
what we have to
It'll
discuss
be a
is, are we
vote.
going for a second millage? We already have a small police millage. What we're discussing is, one, pulling it out of the general fund and then putting it into a millage. But the question is, do we have one millage and use that millage to buy out the existing millage that runs out in 31?
okay,
And have a new, whatever it would be, a new 8 or 10-year millage?
okay.
Or do we
Is it two concurrent?
keep the one that's in place till 31, because it doesn't require a vote and it does generate a little bit of money?
Yeah.
And then base our millage on a lesser amount?
How do you see us getting to that decision?
Can we talk about it in the finance
Yeah, I
committee meeting?
mean, that's what.
That was, that's what I'm
Yeah.
asking.
Yeah.
Is it going to finance?
All those are.
Yeah, everything in the second column is going to finance.
Okay, I'm worried about time, yeah.
All right, we're gonna have a meeting to discuss, like, right away.
Do we have a meeting on the calendar for finance committee?
Next week,
Is it next week?
we talked about 1:30 or 2, I thought. No?
No, I don't have one on my calendar.
No?
See, I had it
That's what
on
I'm
mine.
asking.
I blocked it, but I don't know, may have been just what we talked about.
All right, well,
Let's adjourn
we
this.
can't make everybody wait while we schedule ours, so, motion to adjourn, someone,
Motion to adjourn?
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone.